Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. What's up? Okay, the stream is live. We are live. Sick. Okay. Hello, everybody in the stream. The two of you who are here. We're gonna start this and hope it records. I'm sorry about the audio and if it sounds bad. So please let me know how the audio is and type it in the chat. I need that assistance, please. So if that could hop in, that'd be awesome. If not, that's cool too. So yeah, we're just waiting for a little bit until everything evens out. Now that we got that going, okay, we have everything's pretty much ready. So we're gonna start the stream right now. So here we go. What if Naruto was a Hyuga, the saga? So this is the 200 live stream, so yeah. Let's get right into it. So last episode, episode 3, Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura and Team 7 finished defeating Haku and Zabuza when they headed back to the main Leaf Village. Now we'll start back with the beginning of the Chunin exams. In the beginning of the Chunin exams, Naruto, before everything starts, is walking around with Konohamaru, Sakura, and Sasuke unknowingly is watching them. When suddenly, Konohamaru runs into a group of ninja from the Sand Village who they haven't seen before. The kid with red paint on his face and hands picks up Konohamaru and asks what this brat's doing running into him like that, and that he should be more careful when he runs into people. Naruto looks up and then Conqueror immediately realizes that this is Naruto Hyuga. He doesn't know his real name, but he's heard about the eyes of the Hyuga clan. And so he drops the kid and then asks what he wants. Naruto tells him that he should leave that kid alone because he's the third Hokage's grandson, and you wouldn't want anything like that to happen, right? Then, eventually, Gaara comes out. Sasuke and Gaara have the same interaction as the original, where Gaara says that Sasuke is impressed him and asks for his name. When this happens, then immediately Naruto gets annoyed as he feels like he's ignoring him and looks at him and tells him his name without even being asked, and tells him that his name is Naruto Hyuga and that he better remember it. Then Gaara going on about how he's from Gaara of the Sand. He and Conqueror and Tamari then walk away as Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto are wondering about what's going to happen and why there's Sand Ninja in the Leaf Village. Later that day, they head over to the same place within the forest where Kakashi meets them and tells them about the Chunin exams and asks if they want to do it. Sasuke and Naruto immediately at the same time agree that they want to do it. Sakura, on the other hand, is a little bit more careful and not quite so crass about choosing it. She eventually decides to agree as Sasuke is doing it, and she thinks that if she can agree, and if Sasuke can do it, then she can too. They all agree to do the training exams and then begin training for the next 3 days. Nothing major goes on during this training. It's pretty much standard taijutsu training for Naruto. However, Naruto knows that Neji will be competing in this exam. His older brother, Neji, looks down upon him as Naruto isn't as skilled as him and disagrees with Neji's view on destiny. Even though Naruto has the same head brand upon him as Neji does, he doesn't let that get down on him. And Naruto knows that destiny won't be able to hold them forever, and that if they get strong enough, they'll be able to do anything. He thinks that in this exam, he might be able to prove Neji wrong finally after all these years. So he trains hard during these 3 days, hoping that him and Neji will have something against each other, so he can prove to Neji that he's strong. Then, the exams begin. They head to the building where it's supposed to be taking place, and they run into the Chunin using Genjutsu to create the floor-looking difference. Sasuke and Naruto both easily see through this with their respective dojutsu. Naruto's Byakugan eyes can easily tell that this is a Genjutsu, as the Byakugan is heavily resistant against Genjutsus, as well as the Sharingan. Then, they immediately each take a Chunin out with little to no effort. Rock Lee is impressed by both of their skills and asks if he can fight them. He wants to fight Naruto, however, instead of Sasuke in this timeline, because Neji is his rival, and Naruto is Neji's younger brother. So he thinks that he would definitely be a worthy challenge. When Naruto and Rock Lee begin to spar and fight, Naruto realizes how Neji must have been keep beating this guy. Rock Lee is super fast and definitely much higher skilled than Naruto. However, with the Byakugan, Naruto can see where Rock Lee's moving pretty deep fast, as well as having 360-degree vision limits some of the special abilities of the speed and using combo attacks that Rock Lee's specialty would be. Naruto uses his gentle fist style and manages to close a few chakra points on Lee before he gets taken out almost by this leaf spinning leaf lotus kick. Then Rock Lee is punched in the face by Guy Sensei, is about to use it, who's then sent flying, and he tells him that he won't do it again. Then Naruto and Rock Lee look at each other and say that was a good fight. And Rock Lee's kind of impressed with Naruto and says that he may be a great ninja just like his brother someday. That makes Naruto grit his teeth and thinks that he already is a great ninja, but they keep walking. Once they get into the main exam room, Naruto sees the other attendants there. He looks upon them and then just says nothing, going to sit down with Sasuke and the rest of the people from his group. Immediately, the first teacher assistant walks in. He begins talking about what the first exam will be and how it's going to work. They have several questions that they're going to need to be answering for a test of sorts, to test their knowledge of shinobi skills and the like. Naruto smiles and isn't worried about this at all, as intellectual training was part of the mandatory daily at the Hyuga clan. When they all get into their seats, Naruto knows quite a few of the answers, but for the ones he doesn't know, he can easily put his hands around his eyes to make it look as if he's focusing on the test, and then activate the Byakugan to look around, even seeing Hinata there, his cousin, and seeing that everyone else there is working on stuff. He reads through the answers on Sakura's sheet and looks at Sasuke's too. He then fills in the answers and pretty much aces the test, getting a decently high score. Nowhere near to his father Minato Hyuga's score, but yeah, it was fine enough. Eventually, the test is over, and Naruto's group all pass. Eventually, Anko comes into the room, demanding that it's her turn for it, and that it's taken too long. She said that this test was easy, and that her test is going to be way harder than this. All the Genin teams look up to her, a little shocked as she's so much more roughhousing and much more rushed and much more country bumpkin-like than the original first tester. Naruto says nothing and just agrees with going on, nodding his head. Naruto carefully walks along with Sasuke and Sakura towards the Forest of Death. At the Forest of Death, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura get their scroll and begin walking to the forest. Once they're in the forest, Orochimaru begins to look for Sasuke after he's been let in. Once he starts looking, though, he knows, however, that instead of looking just for Sasuke and his Sharingan, Orochimaru will actually be looking for both Sasuke and Naruto, because they both have the Dojutsu of the Leaf, which he think both of them would be perfect bodies for him. Eventually, Naruto and Sasuke are confronted by Orochimaru. When Orochimaru sends a big snake to capture Naruto and while he fights Sasuke, Naruto can easily use his Byakugan and use his shadow clones to burst out of the snake. He rushes back to the fight and joins Sasuke in a 2v1 combo attack against Orochimaru. With Sasuke's Sharingan and his adaptability, and Naruto and his X-ray vision through the Byakugan's gaze, they're actually putting up a very good fight against Orochimaru. Eventually, Naruto begins to run out chakra slowly. Sasuke begins to use his fire jutsu as well as special combos with shuriken and strings. He does basically the same combos as he does in the original, and Naruto adds on by using his own versions of those, and helping by reflecting kunai off each other, just like him and Sasuke had been practicing before in the forest, and hitting it back into Orochimaru. This confuses Orochimaru and makes it easier for them to attack. Naruto then uses his Byakugan, the rest of his chakra he has, and tells Sasuke he's going to use the gentle fist style. He rushes towards Orochimaru while he's locked in with the string that Sasuke used with fire jutsu, and begins to use the 64 palm rotation. He puts his hands into the stance, and Orochimaru realizes what he's about to do. Naruto says, Hyuga style, 64 palm rotation, gentle fist. He then begins to press his fingers together and starts weaving the gentle fist chakra into his hands. He uses the chakra into very thin lines and begins trying to turn off Orochimaru's chakra points. He gets about 16 of the points off when he realizes that he's about to fall off the tree branch. Naruto falls off the right side of the tree branch and doesn't have time to use chakra control to stick to the tree before he falls to the ground. Orochimaru, breathing heavily and not being able to use chakra on the left side of his body, on his left arm or bottom left leg, realizes that he won't be able to use hand signs. He'll have to use taijutsu and wait until he can give the curse mark to Sasuke and Naruto. Naruto wakes up after a while, and this time, and he's with his influence of Kurama chakra fueling him. His Byakugan has a slit-like add-on into the middle, giving him the Byakugan effect with the Kurama line Jinchuriki eyes mixed in, making it a darker, deeper purple Byakugan mixed with a black eye. His whiskers deepen and his hair grows sharper and spiky, and his nails grow out a bit. He rushes back up the tree to assist his friend. At that point, Orochimaru, barely in time, recovers enough chakra to create the curse mark. At this point, he's used the curse mark and inflicts Sasuke with one, the Heaven curse mark. Then, just as Naruto gets up the tree and rushes towards him, he then turns toward Naruto and bites him on the neck, inflicting on him the Earth curse mark, the Heaven and Earth curse marks to each. Then, both of them fall to the ground, and Naruto's Kurama chakra begins to fizzle out. Before Orochimaru goes, however, he tightens the seal on Naruto with the 5 Phantom seal, just as he did in the original. Then, he rushes off, leaving Sakura to take care of the both of them. Sakura tries to carry both of them and eventually makes it to that same leafy area she did before. Once she makes it there, she lies both of them down, and they're both having a fever. She tries to take care of both Naruto and Sasuke, as when she's watching both of them dying, she thinks that they actually might die from what's happened to them from the attacker of that ninja. When suddenly, the 3 sound ninja come out of the woods. Rock Lee, on his way, by the way, begins to hear the noise in the background. He leaves to go investigate what's going on. Sakura starts the fight with the 3 sound ninja, and she begins fighting all 3 of them. When suddenly, she finally takes out one of them. The girl who she grabbed her hair in the original when she cut it off. She took her out before Rock Lee came in and finished the other 2. Luckily, before Rock Lee could finish the last guy, the one with the wind air fist that eventually attacked Rock Lee, he takes his other 2 comrades and leaves. But just as he is about to leave, Rock Lee is wearing down, and he decides that he's going to fight him anyway. And in the original, Sasuke and Naruto awaken from their curse mark state. With Sharingan and Byakugan activated each, they have their curse marks activated, and Naruto has a little bit of Kurama chakra mixed in as well. This begins to burn as Earth and Heaven seals begin to scroll across their body. Naruto being far stronger than Sasuke actually at this point, who they both rush forward and each take one of the last 2 survivors. Naruto takes the one who has the cloth wrapped around his head and snaps his neck, by the way, in one fell swoop, feeling no remorse, being cold as snow. Sasuke, on the other hand, in a raging heat, grabs the arms of the other one and begins snapping them behind his back until he rips them out of its sockets. Rock Lee is horrified by this point when the 2 curse-marked state, Naruto and Sasuke, turn around to see them. Sakura rushes towards them and screams no and tries to pull them into a hug. Eventually, Sasuke calms down. Naruto falls out of his curse-marked state and the Kurama chakra just remains. He's about to pass out again when eventually, Rock Lee rushes away. He sees this and gets up and asks, "What was that?" He then stands up. His Kurama chakra faded out. Naruto forgot all about what just happened. When they see that he just killed someone. Naruto killed someone. Sakura looks at Naruto and back to Sasuke, who had the other 2 sound ninja lying on the ground. Naruto and Sasuke are confused when they start feeling pain in their necks. Sasuke's pain is on the left side of his neck. Naruto on the right. They each grab that side of their neck and begin to and fall to the ground in pain. Damn! What did that guy do to us? They think, before they begin to head towards the center. Once they reach the center, without any hitch, by the way, Kabuto tries to interact with them, but Naruto and Sasuke, being stronger in this timeline, basically force them away until they got this themselves, which kind of makes Kabuto grit his teeth. Eventually, they make it to the center where Iruka-sensei greets them, both of them still holding and rubbing their neck. They meet up with Kakashi before the next not before the next exam. Bleh. They then prepare for the next exam of the Chunin exams. The next exam begins with the same as the original. Naruto versus Kiba goes much easier than it should have, even with the curse mark inflicting him. Naruto's still way faster and stronger, and with his superior taijutsu skills from being a Hyuga, easily can take out Kiba. Once Kiba's taken out, it's Sasuke's turn later, which is the only other fight that's really affected. Sasuke beats the guy the same in the original with the same chakra drain and that weird guy's chakra sucking abilities. He takes him out, and it's pretty much the same fight. Then later, Kakashi comes and sees what happened to them when he sees that both of them have a curse mark from Orochimaru. He brings both of them down to that room when he uses the sealing on them so they can control the curse mark. When Kakashi uses this high-level seal, both of them feel relief as it comes around. But then Orochimaru comes out threatening to fight Kakashi. And then Kakashi tries to defend himself and Orochimaru leaves, sweats. He tells Naruto and Sasuke about how it's up to them now and that it's about if they ever weaken to it, then it'll be activated. They nod their heads and agree. And this is where the next stage is announced. The next stage of the Chunin exams would take place 1 month away. After this month of training, all of them would return for a large tournament. Naruto says that Kakashi tries to give Naruto to Ibisu. No, actually, I don't think he would. Hold on. No, Naruto does not go to Weebs, as Naruto's chakra control is much higher since he's a Hyuga in this timeline. Kakashi thinks about taking perhaps Sasuke and Naruto with him, but then realizes that Jiraiya will be coming back to the village soon. Kakashi takes Sasuke on a training mission and begins to leave the village to work on his training in the mountains. Naruto, waving to Kakashi goodbye, says that he'll work on his own training too. Later in town, Naruto walks through and sees an old man in the same hot springs that he was in, trying to practice his water walking technique that Naruto had learned from Hiyashi. When Naruto's working on this, Jiraiya tells him that you're putting too much effort into it, and he tells him to relax, as your chakra control is probably already good enough to where you don't even need to worry about that kind of stuff. Naruto asks who this old guy is, and he tells him that his name is Jiraiya, the legendary Sannin from the Toad Sage. Then Naruto asks if he can be trained by him, and Jiraiya says he'll train him. Jiraiya then trains Naruto into using Gamabunta and the summoning jutsu. Naruto easily picks this up quite easily, and doesn't even need to use Kurama's chakra in order to do it, because he already has enough already due to his increased gains as a Hyuga, plus a Uzumaki. Then, after he finishes learning that, Jiraiya is quite impressed with Naruto's learning speed, and says that that's quite phenomenal, and that he thought it would take him the whole month just to actually learn that jutsu. Once he summons Gamabunta the next day, Naruto spends on his back riding him using chakra control, and he stays on him the whole time. Gamabunta's impressed by this Hyuga kid's powers and thinks that he might be worthy of summoning him. He then agrees and is Naruto's boss from now on. He disappears and then Naruto cheers, telling Jiraiya that he did it and that Gamabunta said that he'll work with him. Jiraiya said okay, and that the next thing they're going to work on is helping Naruto train to use the power of the Curse Seal and Kurama, aka the Nine Tails, as they don't know Kurama's name yet. When Naruto and Jiraiya work on for the next 3 weeks before the Chunin exam part 2 happens, they work on controlling Naruto's chakra so that he can unleash the Kyuubi's chakra at will. Naruto, after 2 weeks, the week before the Chunin exams begins, finally taps into the seal. He falls into the seal where he sees two things. One is it's the guy from the forest, Orochimaru, and the other is the Kyuubi, who's spitting and slobering and trying to claw the guy, Orochimaru. Orochimaru sees Naruto and hisses, rushing towards him. Naruto, getting pissed off at this point, activates his Byakugan and tells him to get out of his head. He then takes Orochimaru's body, the image of the curse mark that he had left inside of him, and throws it into Kurama's cage. Kurama, who actually takes this as a thanks, hates sharing space with other people, by the way, grabs the Orochimaru body in his mouth and crunches him to bits. Jiraiya, noticing in the real world that on the Earth curse mark on Naruto's neck, as well as the seal Kakashi placed around him, has been completely disintegrated and is gone. Now that Naruto doesn't have that anymore, due to Kurama's power burning it out. Finally, Naruto asks the fox creature that helped him what was that. The fox tells him that you're Naruto, and then he tells him that he isn't going to work with him, even though he did get rid of that guy for him. Naruto tells him that as long as he lives here, he demands that he pays rent. He tells Kurama that he may not have to do it right now, but unless you give me some chakra during the training exams, then we're not going to have a fun time in here, as I am the landlord after all. Suddenly, Kurama thinks that this kid's actually quite not that bad, as being a Hyuga, he's quite powerful, even compared to an Uchiha kid. At least he's not related to that Madara scum that had taken him originally before. He says goodbye to Naruto, and Naruto comes back to the real world and tells Jiraiya about what happened. Jiraiya shows him his neck and says that the curse mark's gone, telling him that the Nine-Tails must have actually used his chakra to react and kill the curse mark off in his body. Naruto excitedly says, does that mean it would make my chakra control go back to normal? He says yes, and Naruto feels excited. He feels that his skills come back to him much easier now, and he doesn't have to worry about the pain that using too much chakra inflicts on him as he tries to activate the curse mark. The next week, before it, Naruto taps into the QB seal one more time, and then he says good luck to him and the Nine-Tails, and says he'll need his help in the exams. Then the training exams start. To Naruto's luck, it's him versus Neji in the first round. When Naruto rolls up to the stadium, him and Neji look at each other across the stage. When Naruto sees him, he tells him he tells Neji that he's gonna pay for what he did to Hinata, and that they're supposed to protect each other because they're family. Neji grits his teeth and looks at him and says that destiny is the only thing that truly matters. Both of them hop down to the stadium. Naruto wearing his headband and his clothing proudly, points to his thumb to his back and says, "You know what this is, Neji? The sign of a real Hyuga clan member." Neji puts his hands out and tells him to show it to him. Naruto gets into his stance and says he bet he will. They then begin to fight. Gentle fist against gentle fist, blow for blow. Naruto and Neji are almost equal in skill at this point. Neji is fast, but so is Naruto. Naruto, using the gentle fist style, can easily combats and blocks Neji's attacks. Neji's actually quite impressed with Naruto, as he was amazed at how fast Naruto's gone in the past month. He didn't think it was even possible that Naruto could even be this close, as when they were younger, Naruto always lost him whenever they fight. Neji was always known as the better of the two, and the genius. Neji starts to question what's actually going on. Is Naruto's actually pushing him back a little bit, without using any QE chakra, might I add? Naruto then gets into a stance and tells Neji he better prepare for this. It's a technique that he never could do when they were younger, but he's going to show it to him right now. Neji's eyes open wide as he says, "You couldn't." Naruto activates his Byakugan and says, "Byakugan! It's time! 64 palm rotation!" He then gets into the stance, and Neji's just in range. Neji's eyes widen as he says, "No, I won't let you," and begins starting to try and activate the palm rotation blocking technique. Naruto rushes in using his 64 palm technique and begins dash and hitting Neji's chakra points. Bam! Immediately he realizes what's going on. Neji starts hitting his chakra points back using his own 64 palm technique. They begin rushing to try and kill off each other's chakra points before the other can finish. Suddenly, Neji and Naruto both tie. Neji's fingers and Naruto's fingers slam into each other's last chakra point. As Neji gasps for air, and so does Naruto. Neji falls to the ground, unable to move. And then, both of them laying on the ground, Neji says, "Naruto, we tied. Destiny won't let you beat me. You never will." Then, he closes his eyes and puts his face to the left. Then suddenly he hears, Neji, through his Byakugan, can see a red chakra begin to glow around the stadium. He barely can lift his head up and sees Naruto standing. Naruto standing with red chakra engulfing him, his Byakugan fully activated, and slits inside of those Byakugan, staring at Neji. He stares down upon his older brother and tells Neji, "Neji, you were wrong. Anyone can be what they want to be. I decide who I am, not you!" He then jumps up and then and goes down with a spinning axe kick, knocking Neji out in one swift blow. Neji, knocked out by Naruto's axe blade kick, then falls to the ground unconscious. Naruto stands up and puts his fist into the air and stares toward Hiyashi and Hinata. Hiyashi smiles at Naruto for showing Neji what his true purpose was, and that destiny wasn't all that decided what your fate would be. Naruto looks back towards Neji and says that he's sorry. Then he walks off the stadium. Later in the fight, Sasuke and Gaara will have their fight, And Sasuke would activate the Chidori, which Naruto, using his Byakugan, is extremely concentrated chakra. Naruto's impressed by the skill and is pretty impressed with the power that he has. Naruto then rushes off with Sasuke after the Genjutsu is placed, as both of them aren't fallen under it, since their dojutsu are resistant to low-level Genjutsus like that. They rush off towards Gaara to help each other in the fight. Sasuke and Naruto rush off, leaving Sakura behind to wake up their others. Naruto and Sasuke eventually catch up with Gaara. Once they get there, it's a 2v1. Sasuke tells Naruto, however, that he wants him to hold back. They didn't get to finish their match after all. Naruto says that he'll let him do as he please, and then sits on the tree waiting so he can regain some more chakra. After all, not all of his chakra points had been rejuvenated after Neji's attacks had hit him. He rubbed his shoulder for a bit as Sasuke and Gaara began to fight. Sasuke begins bounding off tree to tree, trying to activate his Chidori so that way he can penetrate Gaara's sand shield. When he finally lands a hit on Gaara, this makes Gaara more enraged so that he activates his sand Shukaku form. At this point, Sasuke's eyes widen and he activates his Sharingan. Now they're going blow for blow. Eventually, Sasuke gets hit back and starts to cough blood. He looks towards Naruto, who's just relaxing, by the way, with his head behind his head, says, "Naruto, I need your help right now." Naruto looks up and says, "Oh, yeah, sorry." He then activates his Byakugan and looks towards where Gaara is. He can see that there's this strange yellow chakra emanating over Gaara's blue chakra. He tells Sasuke that he's got this, and tells him to distract him. Sasuke nods his head and does as he says. He begins using his own ninja tools and trying to throw shuriken into his sand arm. Gaara gets enraged and thrusts his hand into a tree right behind Sasuke, who barely dodges it. Then Naruto says, "Now!" He activates 64 palm rotation. Then he rushes towards Gaara and begins deactivating his chakra points. As he deactivates the final chakra point inside of Gaara's body, Gaara stops and his eyes roll back into his head. The full Shikaku begins to form around Gaara, and then Naruto knows what he has to do. He goes inside the seal and says, "Nine Tails, I need your chakra right now. It's do or die." The Nine Tails turns his head and says, "I don't need to help you at all." And then he hears shaking on the outside of the seal, and he says, "Fine, whatever. Besides, I hate that stupid One Tail anyway." Naruto goes back to the real world and is covered in red chakra. He then bites his right thumb and blood begins to flow. He slams his hand to the ground and says, "Sasuke, look out, we're gonna be going for a ride." He then says, "I summon you, Gamabunta, summoning jutsu." He then activates his summoning jutsu, and the giant toad Gamabunta appears, Naruto draining his chakra. He tells Gamabunta that they need to take this guy out before he can do any damage to the village. Then, Naruto and Shikaku begin to fight. Gamabunta transforms into Kurama just as he asks Naruto to. Sasuke's amazed at what's going on and the power that Naruto's displaying. Then Gamabunta and claws bites into Shikaku, and Naruto rushes off with his arm into Gaara. He sees Gaara and then finds him. He grabs him by the shirt and says, "Gaara, wake up! This isn't you!" And then, as Gaara begins to wake up and Shikaku begins to recede, Naruto slams his head without his headband, which fell off, by the way, onto the ground, with his seal into Gaara's head. The mirror reflection finally shows, and Gaara and Naruto look into each other's eyes. Naruto tells Gaara, "Gaara, I know your pain. As a Jinchuriki. As being a monster myself in a family, I didn't know the same pain as you. My family cared and loved for me. I had my entire clan to support me, but you never had that. I understand the hatred of the villagers towards you. Everyone besides, I only had my family to look after me. The rest of the village hated me, despised me. They thought I would be a do-gooder, that I killed their precious fourth Hokage, and that I was the reason that killed their families." Gaara begins to cry, and Naruto gives him the gift of empathy, changing Gaara's life. After the battle, Sakura and the others finally show up who have taken out the other Chunin level Sand Ninja. They take them back to the village as Naruto, Sasuke, and Gaara are passed out. Then, the fight between the third Hokage and Orochimaru begins. Orochimaru begins battling with the third Hokage, and the third Hokage has to fight the two other first and second Hokages. Eventually, the third Hokage uses the Reaper Death Seal on Orochimaru and begins to seal his arms. When he realizes that some of the chakra points in his arms are still in his left arm are shut off, he smiles and thanks Naruto. Just as he dies and the Grim Reaper takes his soul, Orochimaru curses the third Hokage as the Konoha Crush attack is paused. At the end, they attend the funeral, and Naruto cries for the third Hokage and says that he won't forget what he had done for him. After the funeral, Naruto promises he will train harder than ever before to become the Hokage. When Naruto, after this, is relaxing at home, when suddenly Jiraiya comes by and is talking about how the old villagers had been talking about how he thinks that they think he should become the next Hokage. He disagreed and said that thinks Tsunade would be a better fit. And he told Naruto that he's taking him with him for a training mission. Naruto tells Neji and Hiyashi that he's going, and then says goodbye to Hinata. Hinata waves and says goodbye to her cousin Naruto. Naruto rushes off with Jiraiya, and they run out of the Leaf Village together. On the way there, Jiraiya begins instructing Naruto on the use of a very special technique that only that only the fourth Hokage had been able to use, that his student had taught him as well. It was called the Raseng point, or the Raseng drill. Basically, if you have a dojutsu, you can use a special type of Rasengan. He shows Naruto the Rasengan, and the ball of blue energy flows into his hand. He then shows into the tree, and it creates a perfectly shaped hole into it. He then explains to Naruto how the 3 steps of control, chakra shaping, and power rotation. He then tells Naruto that, however, I think you can create an even better one that only the fourth Hokage had also created, that he himself, Jiraiya, hadn't even mastered, called the Raseng drill. A variation of the Rasengan that required you to use the Byakugan in order to precisely attack one chakra point. He instructs Naruto and explains that instead of using it as a ball, you have to use it as a sort of drill. Naruto takes this into mind and considers that he might try to learn this specifically to enhance his Byakugan talents. Later, he begins training for the Rasengan. With the Rada balloon, he immediately can perfectly pop it, and easily, actually, because his chakra control is much higher. Jiraiya, being impressed with this, sets him on to the next step of actually creating a Rasengan. This takes Naruto quite a lot longer. In fact, by the time they get to Tsunade, he's pretty much got the hang of making a semi-Rasengan. When Tsunade had been approached by Orochimaru, she still had said the same thing as the original, and then meets Jiraiya and Naruto at the bar. Tsunade, being heavily drunk at this point, starts dissing the Hokage, which pisses Naruto off as that's his dream. Naruto tells her that this isn't it, and that he wants to fight her right there and now. She says, sure, why not, kid? And then they go out and fight for Naruto's honor and her amusement. Immediately, she realized that there was a mistake. Naruto activates his Byakugan, and then she realizes that this is a Hyuga kid. Naruto rushes at full speed towards her, and activates his semi-Rasengan. She widens her eyes, and then dodges him, punching him and sending him out of the way. Not using her full strength, because she was surprised and didn't want to kill him. He shoots into a building, and the semi-Rasengan crashes into a building, creating a small explosion. Naruto gets up, beaten, and is breathing heavily. He thinks, wow, this lady's strong, and then begins to rush towards her again, and tries to activate the 64-pound rotation. Tsunade, mid-rotation, catches his face, and then pushes him down, and then pushes him into the ground. She looks towards Jiraiya and asks if he seriously taught this kid that jutsu, the fourth Hokage's jutsu. Jiraiya smiles and said, yeah, sure. Then, Tsunade says that if Naruto can master the jutsu and not have that imperfect, weak version, then she'll give him this necklace that was a gift from her grandfather, the first Hokage. And even to top it off, she'll come back to the village with them. Naruto smiles and says he'll do whatever he can. And then, the next few days later, Naruto begins working on mastering the Rasengan. They meet up to go find Tsunade when they head to the place where Kabuto, Orochimaru, and Tsunade are at. The battle begins between Tsunade, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, and Kabuto. Immediately, Naruto begins to intercept Kabuto as he remembers him from the Chunin exams. This damn Hyuga kid's gonna get in my way of fighting this Lady Tsunade. He then activates his medical ninjutsu, which is a perfect counter, by the way, and perfect complement to Naruto's taijutsu, the Gentle Fist. As they begin using elegant blows against each other, they're fairly even in power. Naruto actually has to tap into the Kiwi's power at some point. Naruto reaches deep inside of the void and asks for any chakra, just a bit. He can almost do it. He then has enough chakra. Just as he's about to get stabbed, he grabs Kabuto's hand and locks the blade into his fingers, causing him to bleed. His Byakugan activated and a slit through his eyes. He looks up towards Kabuto and says, "Kabuto, I don't know what you're doing here, but I'm taking the Lady Tsunade back to the Leaf Village. She's going to heal our friends, and no matter what." Then Naruto picks up his other finger and creates a shadow clone. The shadow clone then begins to form a Rasengan with Naruto, helping him construct the chakra. Naruto makes a perfect Rasengan and then thrusts it into Kabuto. Kabuto's eyes open wide as he says, "What is that jutsu?" And then immediately Kabuto is pushed into that ball of energy and shoved into a rock. Tsunade, amazed at Naruto's skill, sees as he falls to the ground and tries to help him. Jiraiya and Orochimaru's battle goes just the same as the original, and then it ends. Let's zoom back a few weeks. While Naruto and Jiraiya are on the road, Sasuke had actually come to help Naruto. When this happened, Sasuke had found Itachi and Kisame there, about to abduct Naruto. Naruto activated his Byakugan, was fighting Kisame, and actually using a decent chance against Samehara without it being unsealed. Itachi uses the same thing on Sasuke and pushes him and tells him that his hatred isn't strong enough, which really pisses him off even more. Then, everything happens as the original, we fast back forward to the future. Naruto, not captured as Jiraiya had saved them, has the same fight with Kabuto, and everything goes back to not the present. Naruto returns to the village of Tsunade, Jiraiya, and they get back to the Leaf Village, where Tsunade is officially known as the 5th Hokage. She heals Kakashi and Sasuke, which, happened as Kakashi had that fight with Itachi and Kisame, who came into the Leaf Village. Then, after Sasuke and everyone recovers, Sasuke's moody and thinks about how much more powerful Naruto is. Naruto asks his friend Sasuke what's wrong. Sasuke says nothing, and then Sasuke asks if he wants to fight him. Naruto's surprised by this, asks Sasuke if he's sure, and that they never actually fought before, and, for real. Sasuke said, "Oh, definitely." He smiled and looked at Naruto, "Unless you're scared." Then, Naruto and Sasuke smile at each other, both knowing that they're almost equal, as back in the academy, they'd both been powerful. When Sasuke gets to the roof, him and Naruto are honest with each other. He tells Naruto that, "I don't know if I'm as strong as you anymore, and that really pisses me off, as I was always the superior one to you." Naruto's hair waves and blows in the wind as he looks at Sasuke. "I'd argue about that one, Sasuke." They then begin their fight. Sasuke tells him to go all out, and if he holds anything back, then he'll definitely kill him. Naruto smiles and tells him to do the same. Then, the same battle begins. Naruto creates 3 shadow clones and then rushes between them. He has one of the shadow clones activate another shadow clone, and they jump off each other towards Sasuke. Sasuke uses a fireball jutsu and easily destroys these shadow clones. Naruto pops up behind him and then thrusts his fingers towards him, Gentle Fist style. Sasuke is using the Sharingan at this point, 3 Tomoe, barely dodges and misses getting his chakra point in his left shoulder cut. He then leaps backwards, doing a back somersault, and then quickly weaves the hand sides for a fireball jutsu and shoots it towards Naruto. Naruto then quickly makes hand signs and says, "Air wind bullet," and then shoots air bullets to blow the fireball back into Sasuke. The fireball is dissipated and Sasuke is gone. Naruto immediately realizes his Byakugan's active and turns around to block a kick from Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke then have a taijutsu bout for the next few minutes. Naruto's taijutsu and Sasuke's taijutsu almost complementing each other perfectly. Naruto's swift and accurate, beautiful strikes against Sasuke's blowing, hard, and large, bountiful attacks. As Naruto and Sasuke begin to breathe heavily, Sasuke jumps up high into the air and then activates his Chidori, and his Sharingan activated as well. Naruto says, "All right, let's do it." He then activates his Byakugan and then opens his right palm. He then begins to scream as he pushes chakra into his right hand. A ball of energy begins to form as it begins to shake. Naruto, losing a little bit of control of his head by this point, says, "Let's do it, Sasuke," and they rush towards each other. They leap into the air. Sakura rushes out and says, "No!" At that point, Kakashi jumps in and intercepts both of them. Both of them surprised to see Kakashi at that speed. He then throws him into the water towers. Sasuke's Chidori penetrates one, and Naruto's Rasengan penetrates the other. Then Sasuke and Kakashi asks Sasuke what's wrong, and Sasuke says nothing and walks away. Naruto, wondering what's going on with Sasuke and Kakashi, leaves and tells Sakura that it was fine. It was just a friendly battle. Kakashi then tells Naruto and Sasuke before Sasuke can walk away, "You're not supposed to use that type of jutsu on each other, not on comrades. That you could have killed Sasuke, you could have killed Naruto, and Naruto, I'm ashamed. You knew that what that jutsu is capable of when you fought against Kabuto, as Jiraiya told me, and you still want to use it against your comrade Sasuke? How dare you, the both of you." They both hang their heads as they walk away. Kakashi goes to intercept Sasuke and asks him and talks to him just as in the original. When he leaves, the Sound Four come and abduct Sasuke. Sasuke agreeing, saying that he needs more power after he saw that attack that Naruto did. It made his Chidori look weak, and he had to be strong in order to beat Itachi. When Naruto hears this later, after Sakura and intercepts him in the morning, Naruto pounds his fist into the table that they're standing at. He looks up towards where Sakura and Shikamaru are and says he's going with no matter what. Shikamaru had already agreed that he needed him with as well, but he was going to see if his brother Neji could come with too. Naruto, wondering why he would want Neji with, says, "I guess so, but we'll have to ask him." He says, "Sure." Says Shikamaru's plan is slightly different. In this timeline, Neji will be in the back and Naruto will be in the front. This way they'll have two Byakugan users be able to scan the area around, making it much more easy to avoid attacks and traps. Then, Shikamaru tells everyone, and Neji just agrees to come with, and tells him that he won't let Sasuke escape either. They won't let Sasuke leave the village and become a rogue ninja. Naruto nods his head and begins walking after Neji. They run out of the village, and everything happens in the original with the Jirobo and Choji, and also the spider, that spider dude, and Neji, and the sound chick, and Shikamaru. When Naruto and Sasuke begin their battle, the final battle of part 1 of Naruto, it gets serious. Naruto's Kyuubi chakra activates after Sasuke's in his curse mark form. Naruto tells Sasuke, "Sasuke, that power, it's evil. I know what it is. You have to get him out of you. This isn't you." Then Sasuke begins laughing in his weird Light Yagami ripoff. He looks towards Naruto and says, "No, Naruto. You don't understand the power of Orochimaru. You had this power. You chose to get rid of it. You could have had almost the same strength as I. We could have fought him together." Then Naruto says, "No!" He punches the water, and immediately Kyuubi chakra invokes him. Naruto's Byakugan begins to change slightly, and so does Sasuke's into the three Tomoe, mixed with his new state. Naruto in his one-tailed cloak and Byakugan activated begins to fight using Shadow Clone's air bullets and everything he knows against Sasuke. They're ferociously attacking each other as two wild beasts of nature. When suddenly they get to the fight between the Rasengan and Chidori. Naruto, never trying this jutsu before, decides he can do it now. He puts his right hand out and says, "Sasuke, I'll take you back to the village no matter what, even if I have to break every single bone in your body." Sasuke then says, "Come at me!" He puts his hand down and activates his dark Chidori. Naruto pushes his hand to the side and says, "Vermilion Rasen Drill!" A Rasengan begins to form in his hand. Naruto squeezes his eyes together and says, "No!" Then he forces the Rasengan to form into a drill. It begins to spin even faster than the Rasengan originally was, and he rushes towards Sasuke. He says, "Sasuke!" No, Sasuke goes into his cursed stage 2 form with the wings, and he says, "Naruto!" He shoves his Chidori towards Naruto's chest, and Naruto shoves his drill towards Sasuke. As Sasuke and Naruto's attacks clash into each other, a large explosion, just a bright light, fills the entire final valley. As the light envolves both of them, Naruto and Sasuke both fall to the ground. Naruto, who has his Byakugan turned off and his eyes closed, says, Sasuke. Sasuke, whose left arm, by the way, it has a hole in his chest, is covering the hole in his arm and says, Naruto. He then begins he drops his ninja headband and walks away. Naruto is still conscious, pounds the fist into the ground, and begins to try and drag himself towards Sasuke. He grabs his ninja head tool and is about to throw it when he suddenly falls to the ground. Sasuke doesn't look back and continues walking and says he'll get a way to the Mangekyo, to that power, without killing his best friend. He then makes it to Orochimaru's place, and Naruto is taken back by Kakashi, barely alive. When Naruto is healed by Tsunade, he wakes up a few days later, and then Jiraiya tells him that he's going to need to train hard in order to evade the Akatsuki and become even stronger so that they can reclaim Sasuke to the Leaf. Naruto looks up and smiles and then thinks that he failed his promise to Sakura. Sakura is still upset at this point and begins to ask Tsunade about training her. Then, as Naruto walks out of Konoha village, he says goodbye to his family at the Hyuga clan. As he walks out of Konoha for the final time for 3 years, he waves goodbye, and him and Jiraiya begin the start. Naruto begins his training for Shippuden. If you guys want part 2, to the finale, the saga, this is the farthest I've ever gone in Naruto What If, and if you guys want all of Shippuden, then we gotta hit 300, 400, maybe 500 subscribers. So thank you guys so much, and yeah, so that's the stream, everybody. So see you guys, and have a good time. So bye.